I was a kid once, and then 10 years ago I bought a boat and was a big kid all over again. Look at me, I'm struggling to figure out whether the engine's on or not there. Look, I haven't got a clue what I'm doing here. Oh man, I always forget how bad and clueless these early clips of my boat life make me look. Anyway, let's get serious here. I'm Dan Brown from sortofinteresting.com. If you're unfamiliar with me, then I've been living on and off boats for the last decade, currently looking to buy my third boat, but still haven't actually sold my second boat, and I just love all of this magical rural countryside that boats have allowed me to go out and enjoy. And the theme of this video, especially when we see here another really young looking version of myself from a decade ago, is really how boat life gave me this sort of second childhood, as I'll describe it. I've been incredibly lucky to have grown up in somewhere such as rural Shropshire, where you're just surrounded by this incredible scenery and almost like these moments that are locked in a different time. I mean, look at that old post box, old telephone box, and a really old barn there with the walls bowing outwards. And I mean, that's just the sort of scenery that's around this area. Yet, like an absolute idiot, I just spent my childhood reading books and playing computer games. I was an absolute nerd, so all of this passed me by until my early 20s, and then once I fully discovered, wow, there's all this stuff out there to just go and enjoy, it totally and utterly blew my mind, and that's ultimately what led me to the idea of thinking, I could live on a boat and just be out in these environments all the time. You can see me here, extremely delicately fetching the boat into Ellesmere Marina here, desperately trying not to scrape that very nicely painted boat next to me. And yeah, let's just take a quick break to look at me in my element here. And this is from just when I'd bought this second boat about 5 years ago. Absolutely fantastic time. I'm Dan Brown from sortofinteresting.com, and today we're going on a very good walk. Well, I cannot tell you how good it is to be back on the canals, honestly. I'm almost glad that my voice is a bit raspy because it's hiding the ludicrous emotion that would be pouring out in my tone of voice otherwise. What can I say? It's so good to be back, honestly. Of course, back then I had an idea of starting each video with a joke. Right then, my friends, I think it's time that I caught the train. There it is. Right. I can only apologise for that, my friends. So, what I really want to talk about is stuff like this, for example. So, here's Chirk Aqueduct. You're seeing it at all times of day, in all sorts of different conditions. Going over it by boot, by bike, by boat, walking underneath it, just generally enjoying this environment. And that's something that I'd done previously as a child, coming out on little day trips and things like that. But then suddenly having a boat and being able to moor up in the vicinity so that this then becomes the doorstep, it's absolutely extraordinary. Similarly, with somewhere like Temaur Country Park and the Pont Cysylltu Aqueduct that you're about to see, I've seen this place in every lighting condition, every time of day, every weather condition, and that's something that enriches my life absolutely no end. Being able to tie a boat up to the side of the canal and say, right, I'm going to live here for the next week or so, and then just get to come out and just bring in places like this and experiences and sights and sounds as these into just an average part of life. Oh, I'll walk up and get some supplies from the shop in the village, and then I'll walk back and take a detour down to Temaur. And I mean, I used to do it all the time, like that bike trip that you saw at the start of this video with the old phone box and the old church. Just tootling on my bike into work or back from work, especially on the way back from work, where I wouldn't have any particular deadline to get back to the boat for. If you've got a beautiful sunny day, then my goodness me, add a few more of these little country lanes and these curiosities and these, again, absolutely beautiful rural scenes that surround so much of the canal network. And when this is the backdrop to your supply runs, to your commutes, to almost every daily activity, sometimes, don't get me wrong, you'll be doing this in the rain and thinking, ugh, flipping heck, not more mud. But equally,
when you've got these amazing days, the amazing frozen days of winter, the amazing days of spring and summer. I mean, look at this for an evening. Look how long the shadows are stretching across the towpath from the boat there. It's something that adds so much to life. And this is what I'm trying to say with creating that sort of sense of childhood wonder. And there's a term that I want to start using all the time until people get sick of it, which is low level, day to day moments of wonder. I can give you 2 examples of what I'm talking about. Firstly, look at this. I'm on the roof of my old boat cleaning. This is a chore, this is a task that has to be done. And yet look where I am, look at the surroundings, and if you could hear the nature sounds, you would feel at peace watching me scrub away at the roof there. And secondly, and this is somewhere that my regular viewers will have seen many times, this absolute gem of a mooring spot. Look at this. So I'm obviously on the canal. There's 20-30 foot of towpath, and then you've got Blakemere opening up. And I've seen swans across there, I've seen kingfishers. It's just an amazing place. And that's where I start and end my days, with that view through the window. Equally, any regular viewers might know that I absolutely love walking and absolutely love Scotland because of exactly this sort of environment where we're walking up these huge mountains and just getting up there just about and feeling very much like, oh yes, we've certainly had a workout today. But we get up there and we love the experience. We love the panorama of this spreading off into the distance. And it's a miniature version of this sometimes, opening those boat curtains and looking out onto somewhere like Blakemere. One of my big regrets in life was always that it took me until my 20s to fully realise that I could just hop on a bike and pedal out to these beautiful outdoor places. And I used to think that I was quite an outlier in that sort of lack of realisation and lack of appreciation for these amazing places. And it's something that made me sort of regret not coming out to these places even more. Until obviously getting into the boat life area, where I've been able to spend a lot more time out enjoying these places and realise that unless I'm here at the weekends, I mean, somewhere like this, Team Hour Country Park, really popular place that everyone in the local area knows about this place. And yet, unless I'm here at the weekend, there's a good chance I can walk through any given moment on a weekday, and very often I won't meet a single other person out here. And it's something that I've tried to promote and push in these videos, that it doesn't matter, you don't have to be living on a boat or living some ludicrous alternative lifestyle. All of these places, especially for people who are driving to and from work in their cars, they can make even a detour on the way home like I do on my bike in the days gone by, and just come and see these places and enjoy a bit of nature. And it's all just here waiting. Fantastic, but infuriating that it took me so long to fully realise that.